Moving on is often easier said than done, whether it's downsizing after the kids move out or because you've lost a spouse. Our Davy Sutton talked to a family who lost their mother and has some advice on what you can do when the time comes.
This was my parents' house, and it was built back in the 60s, and then my mother passed away maybe 2 years ago.
After his mother died, Scott Stuker was left in charge of the estate.
I have a sister,
Okay.
but I'm doing the majority of the work.
It's been overwhelming.
You know, I lived in this house since I was 1 1/2, and so there's a lot of sentimental value to everything in the house. In fact, there was even baby furniture from me, as old as I am, in the attic, so you can see that she collected a lot of stuff throughout the years.
So when did you decide that it was too much for yourself and that you probably needed help?
It was probably after we did that first estate sale and we got rid of, maybe 20–30% of stuff in the house, and it's like, okay, if you look around, there's still so much here to do. Hello.
Hey, Scott.
How are you?
Hi, good. I'm Todd Wolfram.
It was at the estate sale that a neighbor referred Scott to Caring Transitions.
They know how to get rid of stuff.
Caring Transitions actually helps with a very practical part of downsizing. We provide estate clean-out and liquidation services, as well as moving. You've already told me the goals of getting the house on the market. When people are beginning to downsize, the first thing I would say is make sure you know what your goal is. Not to just start pushing things around and putting things in the trash can. So the goal here is pretty simple. We want to clear everything out as much as possible, get the house on the market, and in a position to sell.
Todd says one of the biggest challenges for families is taking the emotion out of things that they need to get rid of.
All of our clients have gone through what I call, one of the 4 Ds: downsizing, divorce, disability, or death.
His tips for downsizing work for any life transition. First, take pictures of those things you want to remember. You don't always need to keep the actual items.
It doesn't take as much space, and it lasts longer. And then the other thing I tell people is when you're going through these things, these household assets, enjoy the memories.
Choose to make it a happy time of sharing stories rather than focusing on your loss.
The third thing is I always tell people is get some help. Don't do this by yourself. Family, obviously, friends, church members.
Todd also says to work at your own pace.
If you need to take a break, if you're holding something that belonged to a loved one and you need to hold on to it for a little bit longer and stop what you're doing for a while, that's okay.
It took Scott 2 years to come to that realization. Now he can finally see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Not only real time-consuming of trying to figure out, what do you have here, it's time-consuming to figure out how to get rid of it, how to donate it, how to sell it, get it organized.
For Charlotte Today, I'm Davy Sutton.
And Todd's team found a coin and stamp collection in Scott's attic worth over $1,000 and 2 bayonet swords from the 1800s. Now, if you're interested in the estate sale at his mother's home, it'll be on Saturday, this Saturday, August 21st, from 9 a.m. until 4.